A purposive sample is a non-probability sample that is selected based on characteristics of a population and the objective of the study.
Maximum variation relies on researchers' judgment to select participants with diverse characteristics. This is done to ensure the presence of maximum variability within the primary data.
Extreme case, deriving samples from cases that are perceived as unusual or rare, such as exploring the reason for corporate failure by interviewing executives that have been fired by shareholders.
Typical case sampling. It is useful when a researcher wants to study a phenomena or trend as it relates to what are considered typical or average members of the affected population.
A homogeneous purposive sample is one that is selected for having a shared characteristic or set of characteristics. For example, a team of researchers wanted to understand what the significance of white skin means to white people, so they asked white people about this. This is a homogeneous sample created on the basis of
Theoretical sampling, a special case of purposive sampling that is based on an inductive method of a rounded theory. Expert sampling, used when research requires one to capture knowledge rooted in a particular form of expertise.
Advantages: reach a targeted sample quickly. Purposive sampling provides options. When a targeted sample needs to be reached quickly, the different types of sampling make it possible to make generalizations from the results that are being studied.
numerous types available. Purposive sampling has 7 different primary types. This allows researchers to find homogeneous sample, perform typical case sampling, see out deviant case sampling, or look at characteristics from an entire population.
Disadvantages. Proportionality is a problem. Purposive sampling does not account for proportionality as one of its primary concerns. The goal is to find a range of cases to provide as much insight as possible in the fastest amount of time.
It is prone to researchers' bias. That means their conscious or unconscious bias goes into the data being collected. That bias may make the data seem to be valid, but it can also influence the data and provide false results.